Hi everybody and welcome back to Medicine for a Book Hangover. I decided to do another video on my comfy reading chair in our living room because the basement's getting a little cold in my little corner. So I thought this would be a great place to work. I got my reading journal out and we're going to talk first about my first readathon that I did in October. It was called Octoberboooookathon 2018, and I'm going to talk about the challenges, and that's kind of my October wrap-up too, because that's basically what I focused on. And then I'm going to go and tell you about my November TBR, just because to just merge them together, I guess. So I had 5 challenges, and I'm just for October's bookathon. So I'm gonna start with that. I don't have all the books that I read here with me. I had to return them to the library, but I will put down in the description like where to find them and everything. So I hope that helps. So the first challenge was read a book with a creature in it. This could have been a ghost, witches, Frankenstein's monsters, fairies, vampires, whatever you wanted. It was very broad this time. So I'm basically counting all my books because all my books had something like that in it. But the first book I read was my first graphic novel that I have read and finished in years. I'm sure I read them more when I was younger, but I don't remember much about them. But I read The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina by, I cannot remember his name. I will put it down in the bottom. But I read this before the Netflix show came out. It was a Books on Tap book club read that I had. Our library does meets once a month at a local tap room called Ernest Brew Works. So The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was October's pick. So I read that for my first book. That was obviously about witches. And I'm loving the show. I wanted to read the books before I read the graphic novel before I watch the show, and I'm loving the show right now. I think I'm on episode 4 or 5 right now, but I really liked the book. It didn't go into a lot of details, which was kind of a bummer, and kind of a lot of people complained about that. But as a graphic novel, I don't know how much they really go into storylines. So stories happen, things happen, but they don't really go as in-depth about it as a regular novel would go into. So I'm kind of liking the show better just because it's going more in-depth to what happened in the novel, in the graphic novel, and adding more to it. So I'm actually really liking it. Challenge number 2 was to read a thriller or a mystery. This is technically, they call it a mystery. It's The Haunting of Maddy Clare by Simone St. James. I actually listened to this on audiobook. And I obviously own the book, but I needed something. I didn't think I was going to get through all my challenges if I read all of them. So I listened to this, and it was an okay read. It says, Sarah Piper's lonely, threadbare existence changes when her temporary agency sends her to assist a ghost hunter. Alistair Gellis, rich, handsome, scarred from World War I, and obsessed with ghosts, have been summoned to investigate the spirit of a 19-year-old maid, Maddy Clare, who is said to haunt the barn where she committed suicide. Maddy hated men in life, and she will not speak to them in death. But Sarah is unprepared to go alone into a haunted barn looking for the truth. She's even less prepared for the arrival of Alistair's associate, rough, unsettling Matthew Ryder, also a veteran of the trenches, whose scars go deeper than Sarah can reach. Soon Sarah is caught up in a desperate struggle, for Maddy's ghost is no hoax. She's real, she's angry, and she has powers that defy all reason. Can Sarah and Matthew discover who Maddy was, where she came from, and what is driving her desire for vengeance before she destroys them all? New York Times bestselling author Anne Stewart says, compelling, a wonderful blend of romance, mystery, and pure creepiness. Listening to it, it didn't seem super creepy to me. There was actually surprisingly a lot of sexual content in this book, which just looking at it, you don't, I don't know, like, it doesn't seem like a romance per se, but yeah, and it's a mystery of what happened to Maddy Clare, and they're in between figuring out how to get rid of her spirit in the barn. They're trying to figure out what happened to Maddy Clare. So I think that counts as a mystery. So I think I rated this a 3-star now. I liked it, but at points it dragged on, in some parts of it I just didn't think was needed to tell the story, and like an unnecessary, I don't think the romance in it needed to be there. This is one of the books that I don't think that the romance between Maddy and one of the men didn't really need to be there. And I don't want to spoil any of it, but there's romance in here that shouldn't have been there. So that's that. My book 3, challenge 3, was read a book with the word haunt in the title, which was also counted as The Haunting of Maddy Clare. And also, challenge number 4 was to read at least one Edgar Allan Poe short story. And I did not get to that, and I will tell you why. So challenge 5 was to read our read-along book, which was, we did a poll on Instagram, and it was The Wicked Deep by Cher Earnshaw. And I kind of was in, like, I love this book, and you can watch my review. I will tag down below on it, and I gave it 4.75 stars. I absolutely love this book. It was a great story about witches. So I was kind of in a book slump for a while after I read this, and so I didn't want to pick anything up for a couple days. So I didn't, and that is why I didn't do the Edgar Allan Poe short story. So, yes. So that is all of the challenges. Oh, I also, last month, was working on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And just with that, I'm going to start talking about my November TBR. This is book number 1 of my November TBR. It is huge. And if you've watched me before, you know I have been struggling with this series. I was not a Harry Potter fan when I was younger. I know it's been out for 20 years, and I just have not wanted to get into it. This year my goal was to read them and finally see what all the hype is all about. Book 3 I actually really started to enjoy. Book 4 is getting much better. It's just so big now that it just takes me more time to get through it. I am on page 417 as of last night. So hopefully I will finish it this month. I have to, because I'm borrowing this copy from a friend. because I had to return my library copy. So she said if I promised to take care of it, like I would take care of my own children, that I could borrow it. So I need to get through it so I can give it back to her. And she's kind of complaining because she wants to talk to me about the whole series, and I can't until I finish it. So that's book number 1 for November's TBR. My second book of November is The Sellout by Paul Beatty. This is a very interesting read. This is this month's book on tap pick. And it's different. It is about, by Paul Beatty. It's a biting satire about a young man's isolated upbringing and an appeal of a race trial that sends him to the Supreme Court. It challenges the sacred tenets of the U.S. Constitution, urban life, the citizens' rights movement, the father-son relationship, and the holy grail of racial equality, the Black Chinese restaurant. So, this is very, very different than what I usually read. And I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. He's so fast talking through the whole thing that it's just hard. I'm on page 42 and it's a short, this one's a short read. So how many pages is it? I was like 288. Yeah, 289 books. Or 289 pages. I don't know where books. But 289 pages. I'm on page 42, like I said. Hopefully I'm gonna start liking it. I don't know if I get it. So we will see. And so, sorry, I am putting all my books on the floor. So yeah. And that's why I have to keep cleaning down. My third book of November is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is our latest book club. My mom group book club pick was The Woman in the Window. I've had it on my TBR for a couple months now, and just every other book has beat in it. So I am gonna, after I finish Harry Potter and The Sellout, this is my next pick. It is 427 pages, so a lot of pages for me to read. And I don't know when we're gonna meet yet, so I'm kind of pushing it back. But I'm hoping that I will get it soon. And yeah, Gillian Flynn, which I'm obsessed with, blurbed it. Finn has created a noir for the new millennium, packed with mesmerizing characters, stunning twists, and beautiful writing. So I'm hoping to really like it. If Gillian Flynn likes it, and she's like the mystery suspense novel queen, if she likes it, I should probably like it. I hope. And the last one is another, this is our December pick for the books on tap. So this is my last pick for the month that I'm not pushing until the very end, is Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. I've seen it around, but I haven't heard much about what it's about. My friend read it and she loved it. So I'm going to read what the synopsis says for you guys, and then go from there. Evolution stops as mysteriously as it began. Pregnancy and childbearing quickly becomes issues of state security. 26-year-old Cedar, the adopted daughter of idealistic monopolist liberals, is as disturbed and uncertain as the rest of America. But for Cedar, this change is profound and deeply personal. She is 4 months pregnant. As Cedar travels north to find her Ojabi family, ordinary life begins to disintegrate. Swelling panic creates warring government, corporate, and religious factions. In a mall parking lot, Cedar witnesses a pregnant woman wrenched from her family under a new law. As she evades capture, Cedar also experiences a fraught love with her baby's father, who tries to hide her. As unexpected dystopian thriller from a writer of startling originality, Future Home of the Living God is also a movie meditation on female agency, love, self-determination, biology, and natural rights. So this sounds amazing now that I've actually read the synopsis. I am obsessed with dystopian everything, so I cannot wait to read this. So that is my short TBR for this month. It's just a lot of words, a lot of pages. So if I add any more, I will let you guys know. I'm going to try to get through Harry Potter and the Sellout soon. And if you have read any of these books and want to talk to me about them, let me know in the comments. After I'm done finishing them, I would love to talk to somebody about them. So happy reading, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.